my name is Morgan Demers, and I would like to welcome you to my 5th grade language arts class. Today's lesson is focused on conflict in literature. The students are currently reading the book, The Bridge Home by Padma Venkatraman. This book tells the story of 4 children living in the streets of India. These children have to battle homelessness all on their own without any parental or adult help. This inspiring story includes many forms of conflict in which the students will highlight in today's lesson. For today's lesson, I have 3 content objectives. The first one is to learn about the different types of conflict, which are external and internal. The second is to demonstrate an understanding of the different types of conflict within literature and real-life situations, such as homelessness and poverty. The third is to be able to apply what they have learned to find examples of conflict within The Bridge Home by Padma Venkatraman. These are the Vermont Common Core standards used in today's lesson. I chose 3 key questions for this lesson. The first one is, what is conflict? The second one, what are the different types of conflict? And the third one, can you, the student, provide accurate examples of conflict from The Bridge Home? I have 2 ways in which I will be assessing my students based on today's lesson. The first is accuracy and completion of worksheet, and the second is an exit ticket. On this exit ticket, students will be writing the answer to the question, what is one thing from today's lesson that you learned about conflict? First, I asked students to think of another word that could describe conflict. Some of their answers included argument, fight, anger, hardship, war, problem, and many more great examples. Next, I showed students a video from YouTube that was narrated by a cartoon character describing the different kinds of conflict. Throughout the video, I would pause and allow students to take notes in their journals by writing down the definitions of the kinds of conflict so they are able to refer back when needed.
Today, we're going to talk about conflict in literature. Every story has a conflict. A conflict is a struggle between 2 opposing forces.
Okay, so can you guys write that down? I know it's kind of hard to see, but so conflict is a struggle between 2 opposing forces.
There are 2 kinds of conflicts. There's an external conflict. These take place outside the body, and it's between the character and an outside force. And there are also internal conflicts. These take place inside the character. It's a struggle within the character himself or herself. There are 3 different types of external conflicts that you need to know right now. Let's take a look at each one. Now that we've learned about 3 types of external conflicts, let's focus on the 1 type of internal conflict. Internal conflict happens within the character's mind. Mike here is pretty sad. This is a conflict that you can't truly see on the outside. So while we know that Mike looks sad, we don't know what is making him sad or what his conflict is really about. Internal conflict is expressed as character versus self, where the character struggles with a decision or with his or her own identity.
What are the 2 types of conflict? Destiny, do you know? Michaela?
External and internal.
Good job. Okay, can someone give me an example of external conflict? Stella?
External, outside of your body, like what happens with someone else, say if there's a group of people and then they're all going against you.
Okay, so an argument with other people? Okay. And then can someone give me an example of an internal conflict?
Like when you're like sad.
When you're sad or upset, right? Or angry? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you guys, we're going to work on this worksheet together, and it ties in with the bridge home. Okay, does someone want to hand these out for me? Following the video, I presented the students with a worksheet. This worksheet asks students to apply what they have learned from reading the book, The Bridge Home, and finding examples of conflict from the text. The students then needed to decide if the conflict was resolved or not. So while she's handing those out, what are some examples of conflict in the book, The Bridge Home? Jenna.
When the other scavengers
Okay. Yep, that's a good example.
how you gets in a fight with an older person because
Okay. Does anyone else have an example? So in this book, what is an example? Mrs. Pritchard just told me about a really big thing that just happened in the book that has to do with a character versus nature. Can someone tell me what that is? Vinny?
So, Ruku, she got bit by a mosquito. I think the mosquito had the dengue, and then Gigi got the dengue fever, and she had to go to the hospital, and she ended up dying.
Okay, so why don't we do the first one together on here? So for the conflict, what kind of conflict? So that would be external, and I just went over it. So character versus nature. Okay, so you guys can write that right here if you want. Any of the squares up top, you just choose. Doesn't matter. Character versus nature. And what part of nature specifically is what got Ruku sick? Go ahead.
It was a mosquito.
Right.
Or a bug.
Right. Okay. So we'll do. You can just write this: character versus nature. Okay. And then if you guys just want to write next to that, you can just make a little note and just say Ruku being sick or when Ruku gets sick. I'm going to have you guys look through the books and find some textual evidence that it is nature that got her sick, okay? And then when someone finds something, just raise your hand and share it to me, okay? And I'll write it on the whiteboard. Okay, guys, so Vinny has an example, okay, of evidence. So, Vinny, do you want to share with us what that was?
So, I can't remember what chapter it was, but they didn't put the mosquito net on, and VG and I think it was Rufu all of them got bit by mosquitoes, but VG and Rufu got sick. And
Okay. So, how could we word that? Could we say by not putting on the mosquito net, that's the evidence that she got sick?
I just put they didn't put the mosquito net on.
Didn't put the mosquito net on? Okay, we can write that. You guys can write it under the middle row that says evidence, right under where you wrote the conflict. Then we're dealing with the question of, was this problem or conflict resolved? So, do we think the problem was solved?
For one of them.
For one of them, okay. So would Ruku's death be the resolution of the problem?
Yep.
You think?
Yes.
How about you guys write down here how it was resolved? And then if you don't believe it was resolved, how about you guys write why it wasn't resolved, okay? So once you guys are done writing that, I'm actually going to be done teaching my lesson. So you guys are going to continue to work on this paper in either your table groups or by yourself. Now you guys are going to come up with another piece of conflict, okay? To discuss. You guys have like a little under 15 minutes left to do this, okay? So let's try to stay focused. What are other students that have no, that sets them back? No, So what kind of
No.
Well, that's still complex though. Yeah, because you guys have two things.
Orange.
But you're gonna want to try to find evidence. Okay? Okay. So which one? What's evidence of that? So do you think it is internal or external? Let's start there.
Depends on what they mean.
So external is like
Character versus nature.
okay, but yeah, so he would be a character. So
Oh yeah, because Hootie is a character in the story.
but it could also be who really struggled with selling the dog. So what was inside? She struggled with inside herself. So it's like inside. Inside. Internal. So you guys could say that there was an internal conflict.
That makes
And then talk about how nature and
Wasn't Hootie sold by Fiji? Well, she didn't waste it. They lost it. No, they bought her and I almost got back to them. So what happened?
find another one for me. And that concludes today's lesson. Thanks for watching.